Hello and welcome to my series Streaming for VR. Today I'm going to talk about push to talk and how you can set that up for VR for any game that you play without having a second mic. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a virtual mic that will be our mic that goes to our in-game play, and then our headset mic which goes out to stream. This means that when you're in a multiplayer game, you can mute the mic from the multiplayer game and just talk to stream. You do not want to be that person that is talking over everybody in game and annoying everybody.
Okay, who's the person with Twitch?
It's kind of annoying, but
So simply just by pushing a button on your controller, you'll be able to mute that in-game mic and just focus on stream. If you like what you see, please remember to hit the subscribe button, and you can check me out on Twitch as well. I stream about twice a week. All right, let's get to it. All right, let's talk about what we're going to do from a high level. Now, typically in OBS, you have your headset mic as your mic in OBS. Now, this is what gets broadcasted out to stream, as well as what people hear in game. We're going to use a piece of software called VoiceMeter Banana. And VoiceMeter Banana, we're going to take that mic and we're actually going to route it into a virtual audio cable. The software we'll be using for the virtual audio cable is called VB Cable. Now, once that mic is routed into the virtual cable as an input, we will automatically get a cable output, and that cable output is going to be our second mic. Now we can have one mic going to stream and one mic going into game. Now, in order to implement the push to talk, we're going to be using something called OVR Advanced Setting. This will let us implement the push to talk and also choose what button we want to use on our controller to implement the push to talk. I know it sounds complicated, but I promise you it's only a couple of steps and we'll be done in a flash. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is download VB Audio. We're going to go to the vbaudio.com. I'll make sure and put the link below for you and click the download button. This will simply save a zip file, which we will go ahead and extract. Once that has been extracted, we're going to install it. Make sure and right click and run as administrator because it will be installing a driver, and click install driver. Now, once this is done, it is going to require a reboot. So we're going to go ahead and wait to do that reboot and install the VoiceMeter Banana. VoiceMeter Banana is at vbaudio.com, and it's going to be on this banana page. And so right here, I'm going to go down to the VoiceMeter setup. Either one of these is fine. I'm going to do the exe file, click install. That's going to save, and all I need to do is run this. All right, so I'm going to right click and run as admin, and that will just take a minute to install as well. Now, it will require a reboot. So once it's finished installing, you will need to reboot the system. So I'm going to go ahead and reboot my system, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back after our reboot. So let's go take a look and see where that virtual cable is. We're going to go into our sound settings, actually change system sounds, and that's going to pop up my settings dialog box right here, my sound settings. Now, if I go into playback right here and scroll down, I'm going to take a look and see if I can find that virtual cable. And here it is right here. This is my cable input that it installed. And if I go into recording right here, I should also have the output, my cable output. So that's it. You don't need to do anything else. It installed the driver. So the next step is we're going to run the VoiceMeter Banana. So VoiceMeter Banana right here. So when this runs, I know it looks confusing. There's a lot of different options here, but really what we're going to use it for is something very, very simple. Right here for my hardware input 1, this is going to be my index mic. That's going to be my input, and then we're going to just take this and we're going to route it into the virtual cable input. So right here in hardware input 1, we're going to select the index mic. Now I know I have a lot of things here, but you will probably only have maybe 3 or 4 things, but I have a mixer and some other things going on. So you're gonna want to scroll down here and take a look for your particular mic. So where is my index mic? Right here. Okay, so now my hardware input 1 is my index mic, and if I want, I can just right click on this. Maybe I put index mic right there. Now I want to take this and I want to route it into that virtual cable. So I'm just going to go ahead and unclick all of these things because we're not using them. There's really no reason to have them there. So this is going to go to A1. So now for my hardware out, I'm just going to go into A1 and I am going to choose that virtual cable. So right here, I'm going to go to the cable input, MME cable input, and that's it. That's done. Now we have taken our index mic and we are routing it to that cable input, which means the cable output will automatically be the second mic. A couple of quick tips underneath A1. When I chose the WDM cable input, it did not work. I needed to select the MME cable input. When I tried the WDM, my voice was crackling, there was some latency, and it just didn't work at all. But MME, no issues. The other thing is when VoiceMeter Banana installs, it might override your default sound devices. So if you just go right here into your sound control panel, you may just need to double check that the correct ones are set. So for me, that's going to be my index VR headset in the output and in the input. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is grab OVR Advanced Settings, and this is what is going to let us implement the push to talk on the virtual mic we just created, as well as map whatever button it is on the controller that we want for the push to talk. OVR Advanced Settings is free in the Steam store, so I'm just going to go in here and look for OVR Advanced Settings, and there it is right there. Go down and click the free button and click next and finish. And so once I go back into my library and go into OVR Advanced Settings, now I can either launch it directly from Steam here, or I can launch it from within my Steam house. So let's jump into VR next, and I'll show you how to configure and get it set up from there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull up OVR Advanced Settings right here. And the first thing I want to do is check to make sure that push to talk is enabled. Right here, push to talk. Next thing I want to do is go into my audio settings and choose underneath the microphone settings, toggle override. Now what this is going to do is let us choose that cable output. And remember, cable output is going to be our virtual mic that will be tied to our in-game play. So this is what's going to give me control over muting and unmuting my in-game play. The next thing is I want to make sure push to talk is enabled right here. Once I enable the push to talk here, I have 2 additional settings. I have the show notification in the HMD, which will let me know when I have push to talk enabled and working. And then I can choose if I want push to mute. Now the next thing we need to do is let OVR Advanced Settings know which button we want to use in order to do the push to talk or the push to mute. For that, we go right here into the bindings. Now underneath the bindings, we're going to go all the way over on the right hand side to the system tab. And underneath the system, I am going to use the B button on my right controller for my push to talk. Now you might need to choose something different depending on your games and your needs. So you can do something like clicking the thumbstick in, or maybe using the left trackpad. But for me, I found that the right B button works the best. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and right here, actually I'm just going to delete this real quick so you can see this from beginning to end on how it's set up. So I'm going to go into the B button right here, and then for the B button, I want it to act just as a button. So I'm going to click button, and then when it clicks, I'm going to select right here what action I want, and I'm going to choose push to talk. So right there now, when I click my B button, it will be push to talk. So I'm going to go ahead and go back. Go back, and then go back again right here into my OVR Advanced Settings. And now when I, let's see, click my B button, you can see the icon comes up for the push to talk right there. So the next thing we'll do is, in some applications, you may have to change your default mic to that output. So I'm gonna just jump into population 1, show how to do that within population 1, and then we'll jump right into a game to test it. Okay, here I am in population 1. Now in population 1, I've got some audio settings here underneath general. In my input device, I just want to make sure that this matches my cable output. Now, if your game doesn't support this or you can't change your mic here, just make sure that your default mic in your sound control panel is set to cable output, and that should take care of that. All right, let's hop into a game and test the mic and see how it works. Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me? Mic check. Hey, can you hear me? Doing a mic check?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so there you have it. Now you have 2 mics, one mic that'll go to your stream, one mic that will go to game, and now you can mute yourself and you will not be that annoying person that's just prattling over everybody else that's playing in the multiplayer game. And you will not have to drop money on a second wireless mic. So if you've liked what you've seen, please remember to hit the subscribe button or come check me out on Twitch or both. And we'll see you next time.